introduce Fessus to our subscribers?
Myself.
Yeah.
I'm Brenton. I play guitar and I sing.
Jana, I play bass.
I'm Thomas and I play the drums.
And we also have another member.
We have another member, but he doesn't want to be filmed because he has
Fuck off!
He has a disgusting wound on his face. It's bleeding. It's infected. Yeah. But he brings the vibes to the band, basically, because of his illness. Anyway, next question.
What's the story behind the band name? It's a Latin word, and it means kind of exhausted, tired.
Yeah, but I think I sent a few suggestions into the band group at the time for like, I think it was meant to be a Fessus in the beginning or something like this. There was like loads of different variations of it, and then we settled on the easiest one. And we're lucky because it's difficult to find a band name that's just one word these days in metal, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah, we like it.
And it suits to the shit that we're playing, which is like tired mid-tempo death metal. Tired death metal. I don't know about that. We're actually pretty fast at all the parts, but anyway, whatever, that'll do.
Can you give us some insight into the creative process behind Deep Crown 2, Trinity Ablaze, and Pilgrims of Morbidity? So the split.
Yeah. Do you want to start?
Yeah. Well, it was the idea of Denny of Darkness Shall Rise. Yeah. So he came up with the idea. Yeah, we thought awesome.
Yeah, but for us, it's just the recording of Pilgrims of Morbidity, which was the first thing we recorded, and then it's not. We didn't record that stuff for a split. We recorded it. That's the first recording we've done, that we'd done for the band, and then he wanted to release it, I think, on vinyl, and then also he came up with the idea to do it with Kill the Lord, but we didn't write that EP for that release, that split. Yeah, so it's the same release that we released
on tape and CD.
Tape and CD, yeah, that we recorded in 2023.
Yeah.
Seems so long ago.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, next question. What themes did you explore on this split release?
Yeah. Basically the same themes that we explore. We're going to explore them. It's not really exploring anything. It's just like all about just death and shit like that, and about sort of I don't know, despair and sadness. Yeah, we're kind of a sad metal band in a way, even though the music's pretty energetic. Yeah. It's difficult to talk about lyrical themes like in that context, I think. Yeah, but it's basically like all the lyrics are about the same thing, which is about like hopelessness and despair. Yeah, and about the idea of like what death means, really. Yeah. So, next question.
Can you explain the split's cover art and its connection to the music? I can answer this one.
Can you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because it's
No, but it's the same cover that we did for the tape and the CD release for us. For Kill the Lord, I think they did a different kind of cover, but for us, it's the same as the tape and the CD.
Yeah.
It's just like maybe edited or arranged a little bit differently. It's the same that we did.
Yeah, the color is different.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Brenton works in a museum, and that was it's like a part of a painting that was in the museum.
It wasn't in the museum.
It wasn't in the museum.
No.
Okay. I can't answer that question.
No. But it's a part of a painting that a colleague of mine was talking about or something like that. I can't remember now, even though that's something like 2 years ago. But anyway, and it's like I took that part of it because what I liked about it was the fact that these guys are covering their face and just like in agony or whatever. But the painting's actually like 4 people, but the fourth guy is like looking too happy, so I cut him out of it, and then I kind of rearranged it in a bit of a different way. And then, I don't know how we settled on that though. I don't even know how we settled on the title of the EP. I can't even remember.
No idea, but I think it works.
It works, yeah, it works anyway. In any case, I mean, every time we play that song, Pilgrims of Morbidity, people like it. So. At least that song works. Oh, next one.
How has your collaboration with Darkness Shall Rise Productions been?
I was interested in Austria and all this shit that Darkness Shall Rise have done. Basically, like all these box sets and whatever. And I knew that the label was like, you know, it's this passionate kind of label that's interested in not just releasing like whatever. I mean, I thought to myself, if this label supports us, then I mean, there's a lot of passion behind the label. Anyway, then I had a phone call with Danny, and then I had several other phone calls after that. After the initial phone call, and then it's been like a snowball kind of effect in that way. And now we're like, I mean, we're happy on the label, I guess. And I mean, look, I guess we are happy on the label. And we're friends also with Danny. And
he's a great guy.
Yeah, yeah. And
really supportive.
Yeah, and he supports us in what we want to do. And also, like, he helped loads with, like, the layouts with different stuff, like with the shirts, and also with the album art, with the EP artwork of like Pugmas Morbidity, I think, because I don't know shit about how to do that, and so he really helped with that a lot, and he was really, really supportive and really enthusiastic about the music, and that's something that these days with labels you don't really get that kind of thing, because loads of labels are just like, there are tons of bands on the label and you're just another number, but with Darkness Shall Rise it's not like that. It's like he really cares about his bands, and that's awesome for us, because it's like, you know, it's like how it used to be in the 90s or in the 80s, whatever. That, like, you know, you have contact to the label boss, and and then, you know, you kind of like, you try to do this project together in a way. Yeah, anyway. Yeah.
And like he even came... Like,
and he came and saw us play in Germany when we played in Germany in Regensburg, and the first show that we played in Germany. He came and...
we drank a beer.
Yeah. Yeah. That was cool.
Yeah.
Even though we played terribly, it was still...
It
still
was
fun.
a nice evening.
Yeah. At least for us.
Let's see. In your view, is securing a label deal essential in today's music industry?
Thomas is good at answering this question.
I have no idea. Maybe you can help, but to be honest, I don't know.
But it's like, it's good for getting out, like, you know, tapes and CDs and
Yeah,
kind of,
that's
you
great.
know, like music that...
I mean, you don't need a label, but the thing is, if you don't have a label, you need to do all that shit on your own. And so you have to spend tons of time networking and then pressing stuff on your own and doing this kinds of stuff on your own. And if you want to just focus on the music and you don't want to take care of any of that kind of shit, a label is the best, because they have all these connections and they have like a network that you don't have to worry about. You know, bands that are DIY, I've done that as well with DIY stuff, and that's cool and whatever, because you can control everything or whatever, but it's like, it has nothing really to do with the music in terms of like getting in touch with certain people or whatever. And if you have jobs or whatever, or, and you know, if you have other commitments in your life, then having a label that takes care of all that other stuff that you don't have to worry about, you can focus more on the music. And so for us, that's been really, really awesome, that like with being on a label, that they take care of, the label takes care of like the business side of things, I guess. So yes, I don't know if I'd say it's essential, because it depends what you want to do with the band. That's basically the thing. Depends what you want to do. If you don't care about any of that kind of shit, you can just record whatever you want and then release on Bandcamp and then do a self-pressed tape or whatever.
And that's it, yeah.
Yeah, but if you want to try to reach an audience that's bigger, then you need... I mean, you don't need necessarily a label, but you have to do all that on your own, and that's loads and loads of work.
But it's great support, and the connection is great, and he helps us extremely. Yeah. So for us, it's great.
And it also legitimizes the music, because it's like, if you're on a certain label, then people think like, well, if that label finds it good, it must be okay, I guess. Yeah. Rather than just like in today's world, it's like swamped with bands that are like not on... I mean, I don't know how many releases are released per day on Bandcamp, and it's easy to just get swallowed up in that kind of release, in this culture of like just... you know, 100 releases per day, and then that anyone would take notice of your release. It's pretty difficult to get any kind of attention if you're not on a label, I guess. So for us, it's been a big help, actually, with Darkness Shall Rise. Yeah. God, I think I need to sneeze, but I won't. Go on. Alright, come on. Next one.
When did you first get into death metal, and what drew you to the genre?
Should I start?
Yeah, sure. Or Thomas, I don't know.
Thomas can start.
To be honest, I didn't make a difference between genres. I think I was listening to doom and death metal and black metal and everything at the same time when I was a teenager, so it wasn't didn't make a big difference for me. Probably.
Yeah. For me, it's like the same with it. The difference was just with extreme metal, basically. Like the difference between like heavy metal stuff and then like more the like Black and Death. And then I listened to the first sort of metal shit I listened to in the beginning was probably death metal, actually. So I got into it really early on. But I really got into it when I was probably like 18 because I went and saw some bands in Australia that were like live bands, and death metal live or extreme metal generally live is like an assault in comparison to how it is on the album. So, and then I saw that kind of stuff and I was like, fuck, this is really intense. Yeah.
This is the shit.
I got into extreme metal or whatever, like Black and Death, and particularly with death metal, before I got into heavy metal, actually. So.
Yeah, well, I don't know. For me, it was like the live scene in Vienna, I guess. And, like live shows that are awesome. So yeah, yeah.
Next one.
That's what got me into it.
We have a waiter here who brings us beer. Another beer, please, waiter.
If you could change one thing about the music industry, what would it be? One thing. Well, I don't know. It should be possible to make a living, I guess, for more people.
Fair wages?
Yeah.
Maybe. I don't know.
Head of it. Okay. One change for the music scene.
Music industry.
What's this also? I think. I mean, it's like any kind of thing, any kind of media industry, that it's run by a very few amount of people in the top, and then they kind of like control the rules for everyone, right? I mean, like in a way, like all these streaming services, whatever, like Spotify or whatever, they're run by these people who have nothing really to do with music in a way, and they just consider it to be a capitalist venture. And I mean, for us, it doesn't really make a difference, even if it wasn't like that. I mean, death metal or whatever. I mean, particularly the style we play, we're not going to make tons of money off it. But in terms of the music industry in general, it'd be probably better if it was more like based on like the artist's kind of way of doing things. But on the other hand, with streaming and that kind of stuff, you can get your music out to all these people that you could never do before. In the 90s and that kind of stuff, and also in the 80s, like it was hard to get it reach an audience without labels or without like without support from like some sort of labels, I guess. So nowadays you can really reach mass audiences just on your own,
even as an underground band.
Yeah. And then like the underground lives not only in just this tape trading scene, but like in an international community. And I mean, that's pretty good. So, I mean, it's like give and take in a way, but I mean, essentially the main problem would be is like that people who are earning the money from music aren't musicians themselves.
Yeah. That's true.
Have you had any unforgettable fails during live performances?
I mean, we had some broken strings on the guitars.
Yeah.
Twice, I think. Just the usual stuff.
Yeah, but unforgettable fails.
I once picked up your guitar instead of my bass.
That was an unforgettable fail. I forgot about that. I thought we played a show in Graz, and I thought, that was when our other guitar player Gumpf, he broke a string on the first note.
Yeah, on the first note, yeah.
But that wasn't a big deal because then we could switch the guitar. But we played a festival in Linz last year, and I broke a string during one of the songs, and then we got a second guitar, and I didn't think about tuning that guitar before starting the next song because I was stressed. And
I picked up your old guitar.
Yeah. That was kind of a fail.
Yeah.
But who cares?
It's normal stuff, I would say.
I mean, we've never done shit like, I don't know.
Being drunk on stage or...
Do that all the time, I think. But I'm not sure about...
too much drunk.
We're too drunk on stage. I don't think we've ever done. I mean, one time I thought I was too drunk on stage. But then the show turned out to be good. So I wasn't that drunk. It was just my reasoning of being an
Just
idiot.
drunk enough.
Yeah. But not about being drunk, but I think like if you don't know the material and you go on stage and you don't know what you're going to do, that's maybe an epic fail. But like in terms of equipment malfunctioning or having problems with the strings breaking or whatever, like that's not a big deal, I guess. That happens with every fucking band. You know? Yeah. All right. Next question.
Are there any recent albums or films that have really impressed you?
I prepared something for this. Yeah. Let me read it. Fuck you. Ah, wait, no, there's something else that I prepared. Yeah. Oh wait. Oh no, that's what. The album by Operation, the Demonolatry or something that the album's called. I really like that one from the Norwegian band. I was disappointed by a few bands this like last year. If we're talking about 2024, there were some releases that came out that I didn't like. But in films, I can say the Hugh Grant film, Heretic, that was killer. That was great. And also, I like Nosferatu, I guess in English. Nosferatu, that film. I think it's cool. But maybe not as good as like people are maybe making out to be. But I think it's still really fun to see.
I mean, the latest Black Curse album.
Oh yeah, that was also really good. Yeah,
that
was killer.
Yeah.
The Black Curse album. Yeah, that was fun. Yeah.
Alright, let's see.
But the Hugh Grant film, Heretic.
Focus on this.
I mean, he was charming before, but now you never seen him like that.
Yeah, we like him very much.
Right.
What are your thoughts on the future of death metal as a genre?
I mean, there are tons of bands and that kind of stuff in the European scene and also in the American scene. But I mean, it's like, I guess it's alive and well. But I mean, probably the peak of that kind of stuff was maybe 5 years ago. So I'm not sure, but maybe not. Maybe stuff will be released this year that'll be really good. As I said, like last year for me, some releases that came out, I wasn't that happy. I didn't really like them as much. But I think 2021 or 2022, some albums that came out during that time were better. But I still think the scene's alive and well in general, I guess. Yeah.
I mean, it's a very diverse scene. There is some modern stuff and brutal and slam and maybe more grindcore bands and rotten old school stuff. So, I don't know. There are a lot of scenes, different scenes existing.
Yeah.
How would you describe the current death metal scene in Vienna?
I mean, there isn't really one. I mean, I put on shows in Vienna. There is. Yeah, but there aren't bands. I mean...
Yeah. Not many.
Yeah. But like whenever I put on shows, I do a lot of the Kill Town tour shows, and whenever or not just that, but some other shows as well. But whenever I put on shows, usually enough people come, and they're pretty well attended. But I don't know if there's a scene. Like when I think of scenes, I think like the Florida death metal scene or the Norwegian black metal scene, whatever. Back in the day. I mean, in Vienna, there's us and Semblance, and then maybe in Vienna, Opioid Crisis, but I'm not even sure if they want to call themselves death metal.
I don't know.
Just in Austria, generally, then there's probably like Cryptal Echoes, I guess.
Echoes, yeah.
That's it, basically.
I guess are there more black metal bands?
Yeah. Yeah, there are way more black metal bands, but like in terms of the black death metal scene, there isn't a scene in Vienna. The scene is in Copenhagen, in Europe. That's where the scene is. It's not in Vienna. As much as I would like it to be.
We're trying.
Yeah. But there's going to be a new band soon, like a death doom band that's going to be doing something soon. I've heard. It's not my band.
Stay tuned.
Yeah, but it's kind of, anyway, whatever.
What's your all-time favorite death metal album and why?
I mean, that's a hard question. Maybe Morbid Angel, Altars of Madness.
Yeah, I thought I prepared
Maybe-
something that would be like good for people to think about, like what we're like influenced by, less about like my personal taste, but like how this band is like kind of like how this band functions in a way. And I thought like 5 albums in a way. Cenotaph, The Gloomy Reflections of Our Hidden Sorrows, that album. I think Cannibal Corpse, The Bleeding, and also in modern, I mean, it's a new album, but it still is a big influence for me, for songwriting for this band, was Mortiferium, the album Preserved in Torment. The Necros Christos album, the last one, Dementum, Doxor Mentor, I can't speak Latin. And also, I was thinking, how many did I say I wanted to mention? I can't remember, but never mind. There's something else I wanted to mention. Funebrate Children of the Scorn, and also, I mean, even though it doesn't sound like it much in the music, but Demolish Nespeth, for me, I listen to that album shit tons. It doesn't really it doesn't really correlate that much into like what we're actually going to play, what we're playing, but it's still heavily present in like the riff styling, which is like kind of this offbeat riffing. I mean, maybe not on Pilgrim's Mobility, but you'll see what we're going to do.
And I mean, both through is always
Yeah, and that's also a big part of
mercenary,
it.
or I don't know.
Yeah, but I found this idea of like one death metal album that you can
Yeah,
say your favorite, because I mean it's such a diverse genre. It's like the same with black metal or whatever, and even heavy metal, thrash, whatever.
Yeah.
Loads of bands, particularly the founding bands, whatever. For me, I mean, with this band, it's like with Fessus, it's like the Finnish scene and the US scene, and also a bit from the UK.
Yeah.
And it has nothing to do with the Swedish scene. It's all Finland, the US, and the UK, basically, like that kind of thing. Yeah. Next one.
What are your plans for Fessus's future? Fessus' future.
We're going into the studio, recording an album, and hopefully it will be good. And playing live shows. Yeah.
Yeah, we're recording this on a Friday, and we're going to the studio on the Sunday. It's a 5 Lake studio in Germany, where we're going to record our debut album, I guess. Well, not I guess. Our debut album, yeah. in Bavaria, in Germany, yeah. And that's a big deal for us because we've been working on this album for ages. It feels a long slog of morbidity. Yeah. So by the time maybe when people are watching this, we would have already recorded the album. But yeah.
Well, yeah, probably.
I don't know.
Yeah, but a lot of these songs have been played live, or not a lot, but a few.
No, a lot.
Several. Yeah, it was 3/4 or something. Yeah.
No, wait,
2/3.
what was it? 4 of the 6, so a third of the album.
Yeah.
We've played live. We played them at the.
2/3.
We played a 2/3, right?
Yeah.
We played a mini tour in October. We played Killtown in London at the warm up on the Thursday, and then we played a show in Berlin, and then we played Wolfsburg.
Siegfried.
Siegfried, the festival from Stefan from Cryptic Brood, and we played. I think those shows we played 4 of the 6 songs.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then we also played Pilgrim's Mobility EP. So basically, like we've played a lot of this material live, but we're gonna really, I guess finish it up in the studio and have a debut album released. I don't know when, but that's up to the label. But we'll at least we'll be finished. We'll have it recorded in January. Yeah.
We try.
Yeah.
We are trying.
Yeah. It'll be well. I don't know what it's gonna be like, but it's gonna be an album.
Yeah.
Go on.
We're really not tooting our own horn.
Yeah.
Do you have any message for the subscribers of Death Metal Promotion?
Fuck you all. We hate you, cunts. Basically, like, just look out for a new album. It'll be released probably this year. So check it out if you're into death metal. It's a pretty varied album with like loads of weird twists and turns, but it's going to be, well,
groovy and brutal and...
I don't know what it's going to be like. I guess I do know what it's going to be like. It's going to be pretty...
groggy. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, we're going to rewrite it today, and then we're going to go to the studio
We'll see what happens.
in 2 days, and we'll see. I'm thinking of rewriting it into a jazz fusion album.
Yeah.
We'll see what comes. Look out for it.
Yeah.
Thanks for your interest in the band.